Good morning, David. How's it going? All right, let's go. Let's do this. Bam! Let's dive into the charts. Let me just make sure my camera is correctly positioned. It's a bit lower. There you go. Maybe I put my chair down. Grok and Flocky all-time highs. Wow. Stupid Grok. Good. All right. So let me just have a look at the daily candle. Where's that line I heard? Sometimes I draw these lines. Okay, well, it didn't do that. It went up above that line, though. Oh, it's a really good daily candle yesterday, huh? I mean, it's a strong candle. Very strong candle. Today's candle is going to be important. It's a previous all-time high. Just mark it off here. This one. I think as long as we hold the previous all-time high, we're good. Even if we come underneath the local all-time high, the big flip is going to be the previous all-time high. I don't necessarily think that the price needs to necessarily hold that, but it will look bearish if we do come down there. It will look bearish, but then where does the price close? Yeah, it was a good daily candle, but problem is it could be a trap. Long the century. David is saying maybe we range for a few days and dip into the gap, everyone gets bearish and we go up. 2021 all-time high, long of the century. Exactly. All right, so let me just there's a couple of things I want to quickly do first. I want to have a look at XO charts because I saw some bearish divergence there. And, I just want to make sure it's there, still there. Yeah, you can still see it. So this is the price action going up into the all-time high. No bearish divergences. Everything looks quite bullish. Lack of participation. Higher high, lower CVD. That's lack of participants. So lack of volume, basically. You had a little bit of bearish CVD here. CVD going up, price going down, and now at the low here, we had bullish CVD, CVD going down, price staying up, which caused this kind of bounce. And that led us to the current price action, which is looking to be bearish CVD. Almost higher. It is actually higher technically because it's above this little second peak, this end of this peak, slightly higher than this peak here, and the price is lower. So we have a little bit of local bearish CVD. Effectively what that means is that you've got limit orders that are sucking up the market buying that's coming in. Is there market buying? Yes, there is. I can see some leverage longs coming in here. Not crazy amounts, but there are some coming in. And let me just look at this whole range. How many long liquidations have we had in this whole range? Not much, just one big one here. Wasn't crazy either. Bit of shorts, that's a big short coming in there. Some big longs coming in here. Doesn't look like these longs have closed out. These ones that came up, unless they've scaled out. It doesn't look like this long has closed out. There was some shorts here in the lows. 6.7 million increase in OI. Some shorts here in the lows of this range. Longs, there's lots of longing and shorting in this range actually. On aggregate, would I say there's more longs or shorts? It's hard to tell. Can't really tell, but there are both. And effectively what you're looking for are for longs to close. That's what's gonna initiate the move. If we move downwards, yeah, you're gonna get longs closing. But right now I can see some bearish CVD. You see here how the price is at the daily open. The CVD is above this level here, so the CVD is higher. From here it's higher than this point, and here the price is lower. So you're getting market buying being absorbed by bigger players. The bigger players are limiting out. They're limiting out. They're trying not to market out. The reason why big players try not to market out are because of the fees on the exchanges. If you buy and sell a market, you're paying significantly higher fees than if you're using limit. And in some exchanges, the limit orders get paid just by limiting their positions. Not on Bybit, but on some of the exchanges they do. I don't think it's on Bybit. No, I don't think so, because I get charged on limits as well. Yeah. So that's XO. I'm not going to spend much time on it, BTC, because nothing's really changed since yesterday. This is my TA from yesterday, if anyone was watching. And this is what I drew. Didn't get as high as I imagined it could. But look, I drew this box, this nice imaginary box in the middle of nowhere in price discovery. I called it the sell zone. And surprise, surprise, Bitcoin loves to follow my projections. What's interesting about this sell zone that I created is that the price could not close into the sell zone. Look, 1 hour chart, no closes in the sell zone. See that? Couldn't even get to the top line that I had. I am in a short. I haven't taken profit. Maybe I should have. But actually my short is more of a cover. I'm covering my short, my Bitcoin spot rather than trading it right now. Just simply because I just want to see what happens. If the price does go up, I'll probably get stopped out, I'll lose a percentage, but then I'll probably re-enter as the price comes back down. That's fine. That happens. It's not the biggest problem because I'm at the highs, I'm only risking a very small amount for potentially significant gains. So the other strategy for taking profit is to go a little bit heavier. When you take profit, you're risking more, but you're aggressively taking profit and you're still well positioned in. There's different strategies for doing this. I personally, what I've done is I've had a little bit of a wider stop, about 73,300, just above that second line, and then I was just kind of nabbing a little bit, scaling in slightly. Just in this whole range, I've just been shorting actually, and I wasn't stopped out. Amazing. Because the thing about what I was saying yesterday was that it's extremely difficult to short. I did say that, right? If anyone remembers. I need to go back and replay my streams. And if you look at the current price action, you see how difficult it was to short. Yeah. Let me just get rid of these brush strokes so you can see what I'm talking about. You see how normally for a short I would do a swing failure, but look how many swing failures we had yesterday. That's why I was saying it's so difficult. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had 5 swing failures. All right. Good morning, Cactus. Good morning, Pacer number 1. Oh, you have a short. Well done. Well, like, just to make sure you have good risk management, because with Bitcoin you never know. So just be careful. Always be careful. But we are in a good place to short, and I'm in a short too. A lot of people are in shorts, which is also something to bear in mind because shorts can get squeezed. So usually I would take profit, but it hasn't moved enough for me to take profit. So I'm probably risking it, but you know, that's what it is, risk versus reward. David is asking me to do a range pull. Oh, okay. Well, the point of control is at the lows. That's actually quite bullish with respect to the way the price action is. There is a high volume node of this range somewhere here. I'm not going to mark it off. It's just somewhere there. Potentially, if the price kind of goes up, the point of control could flip to the highs. Okay, and get my analysis back. Well, it didn't just go through that this arbitrary trend line that I'd drawn, and that's kind of why you draw these lines, just to see where the price can react. And so obviously, as you can see, the price has reacted. It hasn't just gone through it. The price is reacting off this bottom trend line, and whether it's the trend line or whether it's actually the volume range, I think it's more likely than not the volume range, but it does so happen to correspond with this trend line that I've drawn. So it's quite spooky. You know, you can be very superstitious about these things and imagine that this trend line is holding the price. The reality, it's not. It's this volume range that's actually holding the price. As long as we're in this volume range, we're range bound. As soon as we lose the value area low, we're going down. Okay, that's really what I'm looking for right now in terms of moving down. I'm not really fussed about this trend line so much, but because people do look at these trend lines, maybe some people are, and therefore that will just add fuel to the fire if we head down. Effectively, what you're looking at here is a combination of longs and shorts building up in this higher range. And I'm just explaining to you the mechanics of how the market works, okay? And it's really good to understand the mechanics of how the market works, because then you'll understand how the price moves. Effectively, how does the price move? Well, usually the price will move because traders will either market buy or market sell. Okay, if you market buy, you push the price up. If you market sell, you push the price down. Okay, and traders will market buy or market sell under two circumstances. They'll either market buy if they want to open a long position because they think the price is going up, or they'll market buy because short traders got invalidated and their invalidation is going to be up there. Okay, so you have two types of traders market buying in this range. The traders who are just market buying this whole range and they're just trying to push the price up. Okay, and then you have the other kind of traders who aren't market buying, but they have market buy orders placed above this highs here, above the highs here. Okay, and that's just in case their shorts get invalidated. If the price comes up here, they're going to suddenly market buy all of their shorts, so they're out of their positions, and because if the price does go up, they don't want to suddenly be caught when the price is shooting up. Yeah, so that's how the price moves. And then for longs, it's the reverse. You've got shorts in this upper range, they're just shorting, they're just pushing the price down as much as possible. And then you've got longs. People who are long will have market shorts lower down. Now where lower down, we don't know. No one can predict that, but possibly you're going to have people put their invalidation slightly lower down here, and some people will have much wider invalidations maybe down here, and then you're going to have people who are going to have much wider invalidations because they're using some kind of low leverage cross leverage platform, and it could be down here or it could be much lower. Okay, and so you're going to get market orders on either side of the range, and then you're also going to get people within the range who are trying to enter big positions. They will market buy and they'll market sell. That's what's happening right now. That's how the price is moving. Most people, when the price is ranging, aren't usually limiting in, they're usually marketing in, and that pushes the price in the direction that they buy or sell market. Now, what does that mean? Well, what I'm trying to say is, at the moment, as long as the price is in the range, it's in the range. And the range, effectively, there's a volume range, which is this value area here. And then you have the kind of overall price range where you can extend it to the edge of the price, which is probably from there to there. Okay, so it's quite a tight range. If the price goes up, it will invalidate a lot of these shorts. They'll just start market buying to close their positions, and then the price can move up because now suddenly you're getting market buys at the highs. And then what you can get in that situation is either you can get the price range higher, or you can get the price fall back down. And the reason why the price will fall back down is because as the price goes up and you get all of these shorts invalidated and they start market buying, you'll also get longs market closing. They'll close at market and they'll pull the price down. The reason they'll close at market because of the massive amount of liquidity of market buying. So it's easy for big longs to fill their positions when shorts get liquidated, and then if there is enough market closing, the price will come back down. That's when you get the swing failure patterns happen, where you get the price go up and down above these previous highs, because as the price is being bought up by shorts closing their positions, you're getting longs taking profit, big longs taking profit. So that's effectively what happens when the price goes up and down, and then the reverse happens at the lows. It's exactly the same thing. If the price moves down, you're going to get lots of market selling because all of these longs in this upper range get invalidated. And usually when the price goes down, it's initiated by someone who's long, just closing their position at market. You get lots of market selling here because you've got all of these longs in this upper range getting invalidated. And then if these shorts close at market, they can pull the price up. If they don't, then the price just keeps on going down. And so probably they won't because of the location of where we are in the price. So we had the Bitcoin all-time high if you've taken a short at the Bitcoin all-time high, you're not in a rush to close your position. Yeah. And that's the reality of the way people think. Yeah. No one's going to be, anyone who's short here, they're not going to be in a rush to close the position. Okay. So the chances of the price doing this are less. Yeah. Now, if it happens, consider that a sign of strength. Does that make sense? Because the shorts are very unlikely to take significant profit as the price comes down because of the location of where they're at. We're at the Bitcoin all-time high, and most of these people who are opening shorts are covering their longs. That's what people do with short positions. They're covering their longs. They're in Bitcoin spot positions, and most of these people, if not probably all of them, are bullish, like ultra bullish. They've got large spot positions, and what they'll do is they'll open a short and they'll risk a certain percentage, probably about 1%. Yeah. And so if the price goes up, they'll lose 1% of their Bitcoin position, but their USD value goes up in terms of Bitcoin, in terms of USD. Their USD value continues to go up. So they're willing to risk up to 1% or maybe more. But if the price goes down, it means that their fiat value is fixed. Sorry, no, their Bitcoin value, they don't lose Bitcoin value. In fact, wait, hold on, let me figure this out. They don't lose fiat value because the fiat value is going down. So effectively, what happens is they increase their Bitcoin value. Their fiat value doesn't drop. So what happens is their fiat value is fixed, but their Bitcoin value goes up. And yeah, that's kind of how it worked. Pacer number 1. You teach really good. Okay, thanks. It's my lost vocation. So that's how the price moves. People here who are shorting are mostly they're covering. I've covered. Yeah. I will take profit. I'm not stupid. As we come down into lower prices, I will take profit. I'm not really fussed about covering. I'm just happy to trade the range and trade the price movements. You know, I don't have a crazy Bitcoin account. Most of my trade plan is a high time frame trade plan on TRVL, and I'm not really touching that because I'm trading that on a higher time frame. This is just for fun. Like all I'm doing with Bitcoin now and with you guys is just having fun, really. And the trading that I'm doing is really all fun. It's the best way because I'm not stressed, and I'm slowly building up my Bitcoin account day by day. It's not a big deal. I'm not really fussed, and we've got about a year to do this, so it's going to be fun. Hopefully it's going to be fun. So look at the price action now. What do you see? And it's just an open question. Let me, for the sake of argument, let me just also mark off this range. Actually, I won't mark it off because it's not necessary. Let me just close all of this. Get rid of that. Should have just put this in all in the group. So let me just do that. I'll just hide that there. All right. Where's my fixed range? Okay, so what do you see in this formation of candles? Yeah, it's easy, right? Everyone can see what I can see. Seeing a rounding top. See that? Rounding top. Okay, very easy to see. Just be aware of what is easy to see, because if I can see it, everyone can see it. Yeah, if you can see it, everyone can see it. And we had a rounding top here. Yeah, see that rounding top? Down and up. Okay, so you have to be very careful about these patterns, because even though they are bearish, which they are, it's a bearish pattern. This is what's forming now is a little bit of a bearish pattern, especially in the context of where we are. We're in this kind of all-time high, reforming a rounding top. Very clear to see. This is always possible. This kind of price action is always possible. That's why you take profit, because of what could or could not happen. So I don't know if we're going to find strength to go up. And if we do go up, I don't know if the price isn't just going to reject again, because that's going to be a really good opportunity for someone who is bearish to short. Okay, and so what you have to bear in mind with this kind of price action is, for some reason, someone could push the price up, liquidate all these shorts, and then they themselves will short, and it'll do that. So that happens quite often. Okay, and then the trade to be had is a swing failure. You'll get stopped out of, if you're in a short and you haven't taken profit, you will get invalidated, but then you can re-enter. Okay, and so that's why trading can be difficult for some people, because they don't know what could happen, and so they're not prepared for the possibilities of what could happen. Okay, and I'm just preparing us for the possibility of what could happen. So if it does happen, you're not panicking and going, what the hell, what's going on? Bitcoin is now going to 1 million, because actually what's happening is something else. So you should always be prepared for something like that. Very possible. Yeah, don't think that this isn't possible. Okay, it doesn't mean it's going to happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's very possible for that to happen. And all that's happening is that a larger player, a whale, is buying to squeeze all of these shorts, and then they themselves will take a much bigger short position at the highs of this local range, hundreds of millions, who knows, and they'll just sell the price down at market. So I am prepared for something like this. If that was to happen, I will take a short. I will short that. Okay, I'll get invalidated, but then I'll short again. and that'll be fine. That's normal. But I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying you just got to be prepared for something like that. If you are trading, that's what I'm prepared for. And obviously, if it doesn't happen, then you'll see. Because if the price suddenly did do that, for some reason that I didn't know, and then it just found support of that previous high here, then you wouldn't take the short, and actually you're now consolidating at a much higher range, potentially. Okay, now this is what I want to prepare us for. If for some reason this imaginary trend line that I've drawn holds as some kind of neckline, and the key is in the word neckline, yeah, then effectively what you could potentially form now is a much more prolonged range. Okay, and guess what we're forming? Yeah, you see, you have to be prepared for that, because that could also, we could also be right now on the left shoulder of some sort of longer head and shoulders pattern. All right, or something else. Like, I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm just saying that if we do get some kind of squeeze from this neckline, and the price does kind of range a little bit above the previous high and doesn't swing failure down, then you could be forming something else, like some kind of head and shoulders, or you know, the price will just go up and down, and you'll get a swing failure, and then the price will go down. You know, like, there are certain things that can happen from this position. That's what I'm saying. Even though it looks bearish, we're still range bound in this upper range, and it looks like this neckline is kind of holding. We are forming slightly higher lows. We haven't taken the liquidity from these lows. You can see these are all higher lows. And the other thing is, if the price does go down, I want it to go down actually because I'm in a short. Want to take my profit and be done with it and move to the next trade. Let's just say for the sake of argument we go down. And let's just say it gets really violent and aggressive and we just clear out all of this liquidity down into my little buy zone. The price could snap back up. And it could be snapped right back up. And you have a little V shape potentially. Why not? And you're now going, oh shit. You're now going for, you're now going for higher prices, You have to be aware of that too. Yeah. So people who are shorts are in shorts and don't take profit there's so many things that can happen that can destroy your position if you're not able or willing to take profit when the price moves in your direction. You have to be aware of that, because if you are in a short, you're just basically shorting back into support levels lower down, and I've marked them off. I've got this golden pocket hypothetically to this higher level here, but actually slightly lower. It doesn't really matter. And that could happen too. And then the other thing could happen is if you don't get a snap back up to do that, this would invalidate this idea. And it's the same as this. It's the same idea here. You had the local range here. The price came back down. As soon as it closed back up into this range, you see how the price snapped up, right? And if you get that behavior and the price comes back into that higher range, the price can easily get snapped up to push it much higher. And then the other thing that could happen if we do potentially go down is if the price does go down, fill these single prints, find support, shorts will take profit, the price will snap back up, back above this previous high here. It could just range here. You could just be still in this higher time frame kind of wedge with a little deviation. Yeah. Now the price could then just range here, and then we have to see what happens. Does it go up? Does it go down? It could do either. Yeah, like you have to realize that the price can do anything and be prepared for what could happen. But usually it will happen in and around these major lines that I've been drawing on the charts. Okay, these are the lines to bear in mind. Okay, so I'm just taking into consideration the key levels where the price can move in and around. That's all I'm doing. I'm just kind of analyzing the future and contemplating what could happen and then being prepared for it. I'm prepared for a long down here, and if the price does move down, if we find support on this previous high, and if I see that there's a reaction, I'll probably will take profit there. But more likely than not, the single prints from here to here will fill, and I'll be looking to take profit there, and then I'll also be looking for a reaction, and maybe I'll be looking for a long. I don't like to catch falling knives arbitrarily. I prefer to see some kind of liquidation event, and if there is a liquidation event, then you could be going much lower. You could be just going bam all the way down, take out the liquidity from here, and then you have a much better long opportunity with a swing failure. That this is a golden long opportunity all the way down here. That's a golden opportunity, just simply because of the point of control that and the back test of this trend line that I've drawn further down here. It comes up. See from here. I think that would be a really good long opportunity, and it's an easy entry as well because you'll be looking at a swing failure. So actually I can just move that line now to there and just check the alert. Is it correct? Yeah, it's fine. All right, so this is kind of my trade ideas on the local time frame for today on Bitcoin. Is there any questions? How many people are watching? A few, huh? Welcome. Was that clear for everyone? Then you can do a range pull. Just from the whole range. I don't know where from. I can't remember. Somewhere here probably. See if there's any changes in the value areas. No, point of control, same place. High volume node, same place. The high volume node should react, so it might not, if the price might not get down to this point of control. So just bear that in mind. You could, if you do get a liquidate, if we do get a liquidation event, it is possible that the price reacts there. Who knows? Buy low, sell chlamydia. What kind of name was that? What the hell? Chlamydia. Dude. Suraj Majar. Should I short Bitcoin? What the hell? What kind of question is that? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to trade? Are you trying to invest? I don't know. Are you trying to invest? What's your, do you have a, you know, I don't know. I have a trade plan. This is it. This is my trade plan. I'm in a short. But I have a trade plan. I will take profit. I've only risked 1% of my trading account. I'm willing to lose 1%, right? In this trade. So I have a trade plan. I have an invalidation. I have my take profit target. Do you have a trade plan? What's your invalidation? What's your risk? What's your reward? What's your take profit? You have to ask yourself these questions. If you can answer all of those questions satisfactorily, maybe you can short. Does that make sense? I wouldn't just short Bitcoin. It's mad. Who shorts Bitcoin? But then who longs Bitcoin? You have to have a plan. Always have a plan. Execute your plan. Don't deviate from your plan. All right. And people are asking me about TRVL. Let's go to TRVL. Today, someone asked me about TRVL. Let's go straight to TRVL. You know what they asked me? They asked me, are you selling? I said, no. I can clearly see that the price is pulling back. Yeah, it's very easy to see that the price is pulling back. Yeah. We're at this kind of local high. There's a little, it looks like the price wants to pull back. Am I selling? No, I'm not selling. Why not? Because this is not my plan. Yeah. This is not my plan. My plan wasn't to sell at 7.8 cents. Does that make sense? It doesn't really matter whether it's a good place to buy and sell. All that matters when you're trading is executing your plan. Yeah. So I have a plan for accumulation, and I have a plan for exit, and I have a plan for taking profit, and my plan is the higher time frame. Okay. I'm just going to execute my plan. I'm not going to deviate from my plan. I don't really care if the price now comes back down to 2.7 cents. I'll buy more. You know, I'm not fussed. I've got cash ready to buy more. I'm ready to buy the dip. I'm selling properties. I'm going to buy more TRVL. Wait when the sale goes through. I don't really care about the price, actually, because I still think we're in the lows. Yeah, if people are selling, fine, let the price come down. I'm not really fast. If you want to sell TRVL, sell it. I'll buy it. I'm buying. It's not a big deal. I'm really not fussed. If people are desperate to panic because the price goes down 5%, 10% on low volume, and you want to sell, I'll buy. I'm not really fussed about these kind of minuscule price fluctuations. I've been tracking this token since launch. I'm not just going to sell now after, you know, I've been tracking this token since the launch. When is this? This is the Bybit launch. When did it launch? This is the 3-day chart. We go to the daily chart. How many days is that? 834 days. I've been tracking this token for 8. I'm not going to sell now. We're still in the lows. I'm selling the highs. My target's $5, $6, $9, $21, $23. Why would I sell it? 7.9 cents. It's madness. I'm not going to do it. And I'm certainly not going to sell this before any kind of major exchange launches, which are happening sometime, hopefully this year. Who knows when, but that's on the cards. To me, the price action is still bullish. Okay, you might think that just because we've pumped from the lows, potentially you could argue we've come up. It's not 300%. Some people could take profit. You know, that's fine if people want to do that. But I've got higher targets in mind. If we get back up to from the current price, just to the all-time high, we're still looking at a it's like a 20x. So every dollar that you sell, you're losing potentially $20 and get back to the all-time high. You're not really you're losing those gains by selling now. So then the next question is going to be, do you trade? And yeah, you can trade. I think the problem I find with TRVL right now is the low volume. Yeah, I can't lie about what I'm seeing. Yeah, so it's not very easy to trade large amounts of TRVL without moving the price unless the volume increases. And I don't think the volume, I think the price needs to go up for the volume to increase, because that's when people are more likely to sell. Okay, and then that's when more people are likely to buy, because people always become bullish as the price goes up. If we suddenly start trading up at $1 or $2 or whatever, people are going to get really bullish and they're going to start buying more. And I'm not talking about maybe the people who are hodling TRVL, they might eat too, but I'm talking about the wider market. The wider market has a warped perception of how to buy and sell, and they're only really interested in buying tokens when they're pumping in the highs or in price discovery. So in the future, when the price does reach those higher numbers, I do imagine the volume will increase, and then it'll be a lot easier to trade. And then I'm going to start trading TRVL. And also in the future, if and when TRVL is launched on some kind of derivatives platform or products, then that'll be a lot easier to trade it rather than trading spot. I'm not a fan of trading spot, to be honest with you. And so yeah, so whatever. I mean, if people want to sell, I'm not really fussed. If people want to bring the price down, it just gives me and others an opportunity to buy more at lower prices. Now, how would you buy more at lower prices? Well, I don't really see the price collapsing right now. That's, you know, that I don't know why people are desperate to sell, because if you look at the price action on TRVL, and I know Bitcoin is driving the market, and I am slightly, am I biased? Well, you could argue that I'm a little bit biased, but at the same time, what I'm looking at, let's just be very objective and just let's look at the charts. Okay, let's just focus on the technical aspects of TRVL. Which chart to use? Well, let me just use MEX. It's not a big deal. I'll just use MEX. They're all pretty much on saying the same thing. And don't forget, with TRVL, we've got a major tokenomics document being released this week. If you want to sell. Anyway, so let me just get my big levels up. Hold on. Let me see where they are. I'm going to have to clean up my charts actually, because there's too much stuff. I haven't had time to do that. I've been streaming for I'm streaming too much. I need to stop streaming. Do some house cleaning. So look, this is my higher time frame. Let me hide that one. This is my higher time frame fib levels, right? So I think in the context of the current price action and in the context of this higher time frame, if for some unknown reason, reasons that I don't know, because people for some reason decide to sell, it's possible. I'm not saying that it's not possible. The price goes down to 5.5 cents. That's a really amazing buy. Okay, because that will be a back test of a 236 higher time frame fib level at 5.5 cents. Yeah, so if for some reason Bitcoin causes a panic and the price goes down there, I'm not saying catch a falling knife, but that would be a really amazing opportunity. Okay, and that would be a really good place to buy it and fill your bags. Yeah, and that will also still be a higher low potentially, because you still have this higher low idea on the price action. You can still see it, and if that was to happen, that would still be a higher low. Okay, so that would be an amazing buy, and you'd be getting it for 30% cheaper than the current price, and also you'll be picking it up after you get all of these people selling. And that's kind of what you want to do. You want to exhaust the sellers, let them leave, be done with it, and then you can buy. Okay, and then they'll probably end up buying back in, but much higher. So I think anyone who's interested in picking this up, that's a really golden opportunity. But just bear in mind, I'm going to ask some of the questions in the chat in a second. Bear in mind you have a daily level here, so if anyone wants to just place orders and not think about it, that's a good place to just place orders right there. And actually the whole of this red candle, but some of it's been cleared by this candle that's dropped. So the liquidity of this red candle has been cleared all the way down to here, and you arguably there is a little bit of an SR flip going on here, but you know, different exchanges say different things. So you know, on MEX there's a little bit of an SR flip. Someone is spamming the the emoji button. I can see that. I can see you. And then also you got this daily level here. So anyone who's interested in just putting limit orders and not thinking about it, these are the two levels where you can just put your orders and not think about it. And also obviously it's also a good idea at the bottom of these wicks as well. At the bottom of wicks is always a good place to buy and sell. Bottom of top of wicks. Okay, if we do get a pullback, we'll see where the price exhausts. We'll see how vigorous the selling is, and we'll see how much volume is in the selling. Am I selling? No. Okay, can I sell? Of course, anyone can sell, but I'm not selling. I'm not selling because I'm thinking higher. And so these are the levels of interest, and that's it. I'm not really going to go into much depth because I think it's pretty straightforward. These are the levels of interest. I've just marked them off here for you guys, and probably the best one is going to be this one here at about 5.9 cents if it sneezes that far. And let's see what happens. Probably that would be the really good golden opportunity. Let me just also do a fib pull. Just to have a look at that. Actually a little bit lower possibly. The golden opportunity is the SR flip. I just don't think the price is going to get down that far. That's why I'm saying a little bit higher at this 50% mark. Yeah. So potentially, and I don't think this is going to happen, because even if Bitcoin sneezes, we could just kind of range up here a little bit. But who knows? If for some reason this happens, that's a really golden opportunity to buy, and effectively this is your trade plan. You just have to wait for the reaction. That would be a higher low potentially, and then you've got something going on here as well. I'm not going to draw it exactly. You got something going on. I don't know if this is going to happen. Maybe if Bitcoin starts to pull back, we might see this. Okay. The other thing to bear in mind is that if Bitcoin does pull back, sometimes these smaller cap tokens start to push higher. So that's why I'm not really interested in doing this, in selling. Okay, that's TRVL. That's my TRVL update. Don't really have anything more to say. Any questions on TRVL? I don't really mind pullbacks, to be honest with you, because it just gives people an opportunity to buy who are looking for the pullback. So I know that there are people who are looking to buy into TRVL, and I don't mind if the price pulls back for these people to enter, because there are a group of people in the world who don't like to chase the pump. They like to buy the dips. And so as you can see, look at in this price action, anywhere here would be an amazing opportunity to buy. Okay, about 6 cents. All right, that's my TRVL update. I hope everyone is satisfied by that short update. Let's have a look at Bitcoin again, because people love Bitcoin. See what's happening. Nothing much. What are the questions? Should I short? Oh, you said that. What time frame are you used on the chart? Which chart, Suraj? On TRVL or Bitcoin? Chlamydia, I can't keep on pronouncing that name. You got to change your name, dude. Is Bitcoin going to drop to 40k? You know that. I don't think so. Can't see it. No, don't see it. I think it's highly unlikely. For Bitcoin to drop to 40k, you're talking about 43% pullback in a bull market on a halving year. Before the halving, I can't see it. I don't see that happening. I think it's very unlikely. I think it's extremely unlikely, actually. I think how could that happen? It's weird. It'd be very weird. And I'm looking at the daily chart. You've got untapped daily levels here. Potentially one there. Another one here. The lowest one here. These are the daily ones. These are big levels. On Bitcoin, they're big levels. You have a really powerful weekly level here. And then you have this potentially this SR flip here. These are all higher up. How's the price going to go down just like that? I just don't see it. It'd be very weird. I mean, you're basically looking at a black swan if that's what happens. No one can predict black swans. I've never seen a black swan in real life. I'm not expecting one on crypto and in Bitcoin. Let me just have another look at this as well. Just hide these. Yeah, I mean, look, for that to happen, you'd have to go through this whole range. You'd have to get back into this value area. Okay. For the price to go down to 40k. Let me just tell you what needs to happen for me to explain to you how unrealistic this is. Yeah. And for some reason, this value area has changed, huh? Look. One second, let me just update my put that into the local range. Where's that one? Sorry, I just want to update my charts. Give me a second. I'm just updating my charts. Just because I see that the volume area has moved a little bit. All right. And that's still another. All right. So for Bitcoin to get down to 40K, right? That's what you're suggesting. Get rid of this now. Let me do something just out of interest. I just want to show you something. So if I take a volume pool, yeah, let me get rid of that. I just want to show you something just to kind of enlighten your mind a little bit. Do a volume pool just from this bear market low somewhere here to the current price. Okay. And what you can see is on the way, you've got these volume nodes, these high volume nodes. Yeah. So I think 40K is a bit too low. I think worst case scenario, I'd be looking at this one here. Right? So let's go 42K. You could argue it's the same value, but in my mind, it's not. There's a difference between 42K and 40. And then getting down to there, you still have to go for this high volume node as well. There's another one over here. See that? And that's at about 50K. So the price, for the price to go down, and you're talking about the price to go down. How is it going to go down? Is it just going to crash down? And then how long is it going to take to go down? Because you've got these nodes that are going to offer support every single time. Okay, so just bear that in mind. That's number one. Number two, I can do some other things. I haven't shown you this. It's called the anchored VWAP. So if you just take an anchored VWAP from the lows here, well, actually that's much lower, so ignore that. Let me just take an anchored VWAP from this high here, from the bull market, previous bull market all-time high. Okay, do you see where the anchored VWAP? Oh, that's much lower too. Okay, so that is not, let me do that one. Go there. That's an interesting one. So I think that's going to offer support. So maybe that is 40K. I mean, maybe you're onto something, but I can't see it. I don't know. I think this range will offer crazy support, and I think this will be a buy opportunity for a lot of people. Yeah. That's basically the line in the sand, I think, this one here. And then the other thing you have to do is you have to go, if you do the previous bull market range, you've got this previous bull market point of control. That's going to offer you some support. And then you have the previous bull market value area high. So in my mind, what I'm thinking is you've got these two key levels, and this one, this point of control from this previous bull market is going to correspond with some kind of SR flip. And then that's assuming that you get back into the previous bull market value area, which is there. Okay. And even if you get down to there, you still have this anchored VWAP from the previous bull market, from the first high, which will probably offer support as well. So you have some really crazy levels of support. I'm finding it very difficult that we're going to get down to 40K. Very difficult. Okay. And then the other thing is, let me do something else. Let me just do a volume range pool on the whole. Let's just say the whole thing is one big range. Let's just see where the overall range volume is. Okay. Delete that one. Okay, so you see this. This is the overall volume range. This is just, I'm just assuming now the whole thing is one, draw a straight line. One big, this is one whole range, right? Just don't think that we're going to the moon. Just think this is just one big range and we're at the top of the range. The volume range, the value area high corresponds with this high volume node here. and there's going to be significant support at around 56, 57,000, and that would probably be the pullback. That's probably where, if we have a pullback, I think that's where it's going to be, and that's going to be about 20%. Okay, I imagine that's going to be the entry for most people, a pullback down to about 55,000. This higher volume node, value area high, I think that would be it. That would be a really healthy pullback for Bitcoin in the bull market, and that would coincide with this overall range, come back into the value area high, find support for continuation. I think that would be it. I can't see us falling back into this overall range. If it happens, you've still got this crazy level here, which is the overall point of control at 47,000. Okay, so I think that will be the final line in the sand. If for some reason it goes down, then I expect some kind of crazy rejection from that level. Okay, so I just don't see 40,000. If you're looking to enter on a pullback, I think your best entry is going to be, just looking at what I've just done now, would be a swing failure of this pivot here. If you're looking to trade it, I think that's probably the trade. And I'm glad you asked me that question, because now looking at this, I'm looking at my own trading ideas. Usually with trading, you're looking for confluence. So you'd be looking for more confluence on that level. Let me just do something here. The golden pocket is slightly lower down. I mean, you basically have a range here of where the price could find support. And I think the strategy would be this. In my mind, this is the strategy. If we do get pullback, I don't know if it's going to, how long it will take. It could take a few months. It's a big if. Or a few weeks, I don't know. No one knows. Let's just say we do get some kind of pullback. This is where you're going to be scaling in. I think the strategy would be to start scaling in from here to here. So from 59,000 through to about all the way down to here to 47, but probably the price will find support somewhere here at about 56 or 55,000. Okay, let's say that happens. You'd be scaling in, you'd be dollar cost averaging in. As soon as the price gets back above this pivot, you can put on the levers, you can start leveraging. Does that make sense? That would be a sign of strength for the price to come back down, or it would be a sign of not weakness, not necessarily strength, but not weakness. Strength would be holding support. So you'd already see strength, the price came down and held support. So not getting back into the overall value area high would be strength, and then getting above, back above that pivot low would be not weakness, or lack of weakness, which is what you want to see. And then obviously strength is reclaiming lost levels. So then when you do get this kind of pullback, what you would do, it wouldn't be difficult, and I'll do it on stream. I don't mind doing it on stream, wherever the pivot is put in. Yeah, as soon as you reclaim fib levels, that's a sign of strength. As you go down, and as soon as you come back up, as soon as you reclaim fib levels, each time you reclaim a fib level, that's a sign of strength. Yeah, and as soon as the price goes down and comes back above that pivot, you can start putting on the levers, you can start leveraging, because you have a very easy invalidation, and that's all you need for leveraging. You just need to know when you're wrong. And so if the price gets back above that pivot after it goes down underneath it, you'll be buying spot. As soon as it comes back down above that pivot, that's a really nice pivot. Yeah, very easy to see. And potentially, look, if the price does go all the way down somewhere here, it might line up. if the price really goes down, it might line up with a fib. I don't know where the price could go down. That's what usually happens with the price. But even if it doesn't matter. And the great thing is that if the price was to come down and then come back up, it should find support. And then you have an invalidation. And then for a leverage trade, it'd be very easy to see. Just leveraged. Okay. Does that help? I think this is probably the zone, and I'm not really contemplating it right now, just simply because we're still on the highs and we still haven't lost local levels. And I think if we start coming down, I'll start looking at it in more depth, right? And then the other thing to bear in mind is that Bitcoin always does the opposite of what people think. So if people think lower, or if people think crash, or if people think this is going to zero, then what will happen is Bitcoin will probably just range the previous all-time high and then go up, and there'll be no correction. That will be the correction. And that, you know, there's different types of correction. People always think deep corrections, but actually it's also quite possible that we just kind of get a flat correction, a nice long flat correction for possibly, well, when would it be? April. Let's say we get an April correction and a May correction, just two flat months. Imagine if we just ranged here for a couple of months. That's enough. That's a correction. It doesn't have to be deep. Just gives people enough time to accumulate, and it also gives time for the price to find acceptance into these higher prices. And the longer the price ranges here, the more likely people are to accumulate here. Okay, and so we've just entered this kind of higher time frame, higher price level, and we just have to see what happens afterwards, whether we go into some kind of range bound correction here. And it could form anything, you know, you could form you could form like a pennant, you could form a flag, anything can happen here. I find it very difficult to think that we're just going to go down. Who knows? Anything can happen. All right. Any questions, or shall I take a break and then I can quickly look at some other? I think a lot of people are desperate for me to look at some other tokens for them. Can I take a break and then I'll be back in about 5 minutes, and then we can start having a look at some other altcoins. All right. And I think the strategy, just bear in mind that if Bitcoin pulls back, the strategy for altcoins is buying. It's buying. That's what you'll be looking for. All right, we can do a 5-minute break. Gotta find my text tool. Everyone go and enjoy a coffee or a tea, go to the toilet, have a cigarette. Okay, I'm back. I don't know if anyone's still here. All right. Let me see. Okay. Hi, Pacer number 1. Thank you for staying with me. Nice to have you. Okay. Let me just have a look at some other things quickly. Let me have a look at Bitcoin dominance. We do get a big pullback on Bitcoin, maybe we will get this kind of push up to there. That's kind of what I'm hoping for alt season. That's what I think alt season is going to begin here. If that happens. On Bitcoin dominance, that's about 8% higher. We're back in the top of this range. We haven't actually hit the point of control of this range, so it's looking still quite bullish for Bitcoin dominance. If you want alt season, then Bitcoin dominance must be bearish. Okay, and at the moment we're still quite bullish on Bitcoin dominance. Potentially for Bitcoin dominance, we want to go up there, find resistance to come back down. That's what I'm hoping for. So we're still not there yet. Let me have a look at the DXY. Okay, so the DXY is finding support on this higher time frame 236. I'll show you. From all the way from this pivot low back in 2008 all the way to the high that's been put in November 22. We're finding support at the moment on the 236. That's the DXY. The last 3-day candle was extremely bearish. And actually for Bitcoin to go up, we need DXY to go down, but it's possible that the DXY goes up to go down. It's possible the DXY goes up all the way to go down. It's possible. That will have an impact on Bitcoin for sure. So we are kind of into this higher time frame, very high time frame support level. And effectively what we need for Bitcoin to go up is we need to lose these 236, flip it into resistance to go down, which is what I'm contemplating for Bitcoin to go up, for all of crypto to go up. We need to lose it, then we need to flip it into resistance. At the moment, we haven't flipped this higher time frame level into resistance yet. Okay, it's something to consider. ETH BTC is just still ranging, and it still hasn't come above that value upper range value area low. That's what we're going to need for alt season. For alt season to begin, I think we need this ETH BTC to get above this level here and to hold it as support. And so we're not there at the moment. We're still in this kind of lower range. There's no point looking at ETH because it's just doing what Bitcoin is doing. You see in ETH, we've actually come into this mid-channel on this higher time frame channel that I've drawn, we're actually into the midpoint. So naturally on ETH there's a little bit of resistance. Gold is doing nothing as usual. Gold is just really boring. So just ignore it. If we do get a pullback, then on the crypto market cap, excluding the top 10, a really great place to position yourselves into altcoins will be back here on this SR flip. Yeah, that will be on the altcoin, on that market. We're talking about potentially a 29% pullback. Pax Gold BTC, let's have a look. That's just looking weak. Let me just update this range pool. Okay, so this is interesting. Pax Gold against BTC is finally into the value area low of this overall price action, going back to 2019. You see that? So we're into support, interestingly enough. How coincidental is that? That finally Pax Gold against Bitcoin is coming into support. So there is a possibility for some kind of rotation back into gold at these levels. Now this is just a volume level. We're still underneath these lows here, and are we gonna go down and up? I don't know. Or are we just gonna find support here to go back up? I don't know. If we do go back up, then probably the first area of resistance will be this little crop of candles here. Probably. Could be lower. And actually there's an SR flip in play here as well, which hasn't been tested. So if Pax Gold against BTC does now suddenly turn, because BTC pulls back, I think if it goes up and clears that range and then comes back down, that would make sense back up to test this SR flip. Who knows? But I think it's everything's to do with Bitcoin now, like, and USD. I think just Pax Gold is just following. SPX. Well, look, SPX is in all-time highs. Could that pull back? Yeah, that could pull back. If that does pull back, we have this key level here, this previous high. I think that should act as support. That's what you would expect. You would want that to happen. You'd want, if we do get a pullback, you'd want that to hold. It's about 5%, nearly 6% down on SPX. Just to form an SR flip. That would be nice to see that. Maybe look at these other ones. On the total crypto market cap, it's interesting because on Bitcoin we're in all-time highs, but on the total crypto market cap we're still not into all-time highs yet. Okay, so we haven't yet returned to our bull run market cap. We're about 18 or so % away from the highs. If we do get a pullback on the total crypto market gap, there are some levels to bear in mind. This previous high here, that's interesting. And then obviously, if it comes down to the midpoint of this channel, that would work too. Okay, that's something to bear in mind. This one's excluding BTC. This one is a little bit less bullish. We're still way away from our... So we haven't seen the rotation of capital into a full rotation into the altcoins yet, because we're far away from the all-time high here. 42%. That's excluding ETH. Sorry, excluding BTC, including ETH. And this one is excluding BTC and ETH. This one is about 54%. So at the moment, most of the value is still in ETH and BTC, mostly in BTC. Again, if we get a flip, we'll see how the price reacts at these levels, but you know, that would be a nice place for the price to come back in to flip. See? And then USDTD. Well, look, I mean, we're coming into some kind of support here. I've marked it out. We're still a little bit away from it. Potentially we're still 3 or 4% away from it. And there might be some kind of natural support here where the price, where the value goes back into USDT. Okay. And that's the value area high of this previous range that I've marked out. Okay, that's that. Good morning, Craig. How's it going? What else can I see? We can have a look at Travel BTC. That's looking quite healthy. Look, we've coming back into this 236 almost. I think that should hold now. I'd like to see that hold. And that's what I've been saying for a long time. I've been saying that BTC and TRVL, they're kind of following each other a little bit. So I still think in my mind it's better to be in TRVL. And I've said that for a while. No real changes there. Okay. Let me have a look. Let's see if there's anything interesting. Oh wow, this Hopper has just gone up 28%. Shit. I don't remember what I said about Hopper. And a pullback. Okay, it's still kind of ranging in this upper range. 20% is a lot though. So cool. The market's mostly redder, so I think that's got something to do with Bitcoin. I can have a look at anything if anyone wants me to have a look. I'm not really, nothing really takes. Oh my god, 31% car. It's stupid. I don't understand this token actually. Look at this one. Someone's just market bought that. That's what it was. It was a market buy, low liquidity environment market buy into resistance. Look at this EGC. Well, the EGC hasn't gone anywhere since it hit the golden pocket. It's just consolidation. This one's annoying. WLD is the most annoying token. It's really annoying because my friend Dan was telling me to buy it when it launched, and I thought it was a good place to buy it, and I didn't buy any. Anyway, whatever. I was looking at it in September at $1. It was up at $9. Ridiculous. I don't like chasing these new tokens. There's Doge. Let's have a look at Doge. I don't call Doge Doge, I call it Dodge because it's dodgy. Do I even have it here? Probably not. It must be here somewhere. Dodge. Doge is looking okay. It's holding this 382. Look at that volume that came into Doge. It's a lot of volume. I think that volume was the squeeze. When I did my analysis originally, I was talking about a Doge squeeze that was coming. Nothing of interest. Cake, oh my god, $4.2. Crazy. I was looking at the cake market cap. Sometimes when I trade, I trade the market cap. I don't actually trade the price. And I was looking for it here when it crossed these highs. Oh my god, that's a V shape on the market cap on cake. Cake is looking really strong. It's a V shape. I'm starting at 8%. Increase that. Okay, the point of control's moved though. Don't know if anyone's looking at the BHO network, but you have a potential trendline break here. We're in the value area. I mean, that's potentially a bump and run, but I don't really like. It's more of a double bottom actually, thinking about it. I think if anyone's interested in this token, what you want to happen is you want the price to flip that value area high into support. That would be the trade. Something like that. Or lower. Lower would be good too. I don't think good. No. Probably here. Oh, you just SFP this. Just a trade. All right. Let's have a look at some other things. Look at this tongue coin. Oh my god! Look at that shit. Looks good though. Ton coin, the ton coin. I had it breaking out of this higher time frame triangle, and look. Didn't get invalidated. I didn't take the trade, but the trade is good. wide invalidation, but I had the invalidation underneath these lows here. After you broke out of this triangle, potentially now you're looking for a pullback to back test this you want a little back test here, get up to $15 I think on this. That's what I'm thinking. That would complete on this token, that would complete kind of that kind of pattern idea. Matic. Matic's also kind of broken out of this higher time frame triangle. I had one here. You had this triangle here where it broke out. You had this kind of extended consolidation period, and effectively what we're seeing with Matic is it came down into this, took out the liquidity from here, and ever since it did that, it's up 58%. It's kind of trying to get, it's breaking out of this this trend line. This is a bump and run too, potentially. Excuse me. Maybe that's the trade. These pivot lows is the invalidation. Matic has a potential to go up to the all-time high, and if it extends maybe $5 or 7, 5, 7, 12. It's quite a flat, I mean, if it completes this triangle idea, you're looking something like that. It's probably up to about $5.50, I would say. It's because I think the reason with this, like something like Matic, is you've got a high, you have a high volume, sorry, a high market cap, and so it's a lot more difficult for these high market caps to expand in price. But you know, I think everything's got to do with Bitcoin. If Bitcoin in the future goes crazy, anything can happen really. I could link. Link is an interesting one because it normally leads Bitcoin, and on Link we're into, there is an SR flip in play there, so as long as we don't lose that SR flip on Link, it's still bullish, still looks bullish. And on Link you have this Wyckoff accumulation pattern. This whole thing is a Wyckoff accumulation. That's probably the LPS. You're probably looking at another LPS there, last point of support there. Yeah, look, it came into the golden pocket. It's finding resistance in the golden pocket. I'd like to see Link at about $101, first target and higher time range, higher time frame. Link. Look at these ones. Kuji. I mean, Kuji is just unbelievably bullish. Can't doubt it. Forming a little bit of a head and shoulders pattern on Kuji right now. This is the weekly time frame. To kind of see it, there's a little bit of a head and shoulders pattern. Could it go down? I'd love for it to go down and then you've got this previous high, which should offer support if it comes into the back channel. There's a trade on the table there. If it does that, if it completes this inverse head and shoulders and goes down, then your long is, if it finds support somewhere here, that's your long. Get some aggressive selling, take it right down. Something like that. That's the trade to be interested in with Kuji. Could even set an alert on I've got an alert here. But you know the thing about these these head and shoulder patterns with these extremely bullish tokens, like super bullish, the price could go down, swing failure this low, just invalidate the pattern, and then the pattern, then it becomes extremely bullish. When you invalidate a bearish pattern like that, it becomes really, really bullish. So potentially there's two ideas here. This is the weekly time frame, but you're looking, let me zoom in a little bit. You can clearly see it's an inverse head, a head and shoulders pattern forming. So you could easily go down, and then that becomes bullish. And then if it breaks, somehow, as soon as you reclaim that, that becomes bullish. You've invalidated that whole idea. Effectively, what's happening, even though it looks like a head and shoulders, you have a range. You lose the range, you reclaim the range. The reclaiming the range is the bullish invalidation of the pattern, not necessarily the neckline. People are like so obsessed with these lines, these sloping lines, but actually it's the horizontal ones that really matter, especially when you've got these very important pivots that are put in. So when you reclaim the range, as the price comes back above the previous horizontal pivot, that's the bullish signal. And so you could, with something like this, you could end up with a break down, back test the previous all-time high, find support on the top of this channel, and then as soon as the price comes back above this pivot low, that's, you could enter that. Really, that would be the entry. Or if people are looking to scale in, they could scale in somewhere here, the previous all-time high. That's kind of what you're looking for. That's the price action that you're looking for. And you know, the thing about like a token like this, it's so extended that I wouldn't be surprised if the price does pull back significantly. If you look at where from this low to the current, it's like 6.5x from this low all the way here. It's like a 12x. And CAS is really extended too. CAS is even more extended. So CAS is correcting. It's done its 5 waves actually. That's the wave 1. I was looking for a much deeper correction, but it's obviously not going to present itself, but it still might. Again with CAS, it's a tricky one, because if you break that trend line, it's going to look really ugly. If you break that, so you could get a really strong push down, big sell off. It's the same problem, you know, from the beginning where it launched to current price. You're looking at 103x. A lot of people sitting in crazy profits, 100x. It's crazy profits. If you do get like a little bit of a break, and actually, you know, this is bearish. What right now what I'm seeing is quite bearish. Why? Because this is the high that's been put in. Yeah, and it's underneath it. So this is what it's looking like now. If anyone's interested in Casper, is a little bit of a failed auction on that pivot there. This is looking like a failed auction right now. See that? This is the 3-day time frame. So let me go to the daily. You've got this kind of SR flip where it back tested here, fake out. It's like a trap, and now we're kind of finding resistance. I mean, you can short that. It's a really easy invalidation, to be honest with you. So yeah, that's a really tight short, tight invalidation. Probably worth a risk. You're still shorting above this support though, that's the problem. But you're under. The great thing about the price action on Casper is you've got this really defined line, this line from this previous all-time high, and you know that it reacted as support. This was a little bit of a trap, and now you can see how the price is, excuse me, is holding it as resistance. So this is quite bearish price action right now on the Casper. The great thing about Casper is you know that you've got a lot of people on 100x. So if they start seeing the price break down, they're going to start market selling just to close their positions, and potentially you could go down quite far. I think the first target will be these lows here. All of these lows, that will be the first target, and then you could get this kind of like a correction like that. I don't know. If you make a higher low, that's going to be even more bullish. If this doesn't really drop down, if this just kind of if it just does that, oh my god, that's going to be really bullish. That's a really bullish price action if it did that. And then if it just kind of did this and start selling off, then it's bullish in the sense that you'll get better prices. I don't think we'll get down to these lower prices. I just don't see it. But anything's possible, and I think if it was possible to get down to these lower prices, it would be an opportunity, especially this one here. I don't think so, but you never know. I think probably actually it's the best trade would be this pivot high here. With the SFP swing failure, that low, you have a really easy entry. That would be a really easy entry. And then obviously if that failed, you're looking for this one lower down, but you're just underneath that high, which I don't like. I almost think that high has to hold as some kind of higher time frame SR flip. I don't like going back underneath previous highs and flipping them back into resistance. I like to kind of, this would be better for me. Come back up, come under it, and then come back above it. And then you're also taking the liquidity from there. People who are looking for lower don't get in, so they have to FOMO in higher. And so you're effectively making a higher time frame. Higher low, higher time frame, higher low here, a bit higher up, be more bullish. rid of these now. Just do this. Let's see. There's no major like fib levels though. That's the problem. That's what I don't like. From this pivot, there's a 382. Maybe that's the one. Maybe there. Yeah, that'd be nice because you've got the point of control there as well into the value area low of this upper range. Is that possible? Nice though. Send that. Objective. So bullish. It's just ridiculous. It's just hard to enter these highs. Look at that. It's just like a really flat correction. No one's selling. This previous all-time high, again, it's the same idea. You just want it to backtest, hold the support. If you don't take it, that would be perfectly acceptable. But I've got this channel, this lower part, maybe not the top part, forget about the top part or the midpoint, but you've got these lows that line up nicely. So that would be a really good opportunity because you have a little bit of confluence with this previous all-time high. This is a bullish consolidation pattern. In consolidating above a previous all-time high is bullish, and you're forming some kind of flat correction. The opportunity is here, right on the Bitcoin halving. If the price lands here, and maybe people will be calling for lower, that's the opportunity, because you've got the previous all-time high, you've got this higher time frame trend line from these lows. That's pretty nice. And then what else have you got potentially? Yeah, I don't know. Just, it's like 50%. Don't know. Let me have another look at something else. See what that says. There's no volume though. That's the only problem with taking a trade here is there's no volume. So maybe you wouldn't just take it. It'd be a lot safer to take it where you've got a kind of a big volume node there, and that would act as your third confluence. I can't see any major fib levels either. That's the other problem. And then the other problem you have with the trade there is this kind of impulsive move up. Sometimes if you lose this range, you get the impulsive move down, and a lot of people get destroyed because they catch a falling knife. So a safer bet for this token, much safer bet, is let it do its thing. Let it do its thing. Let it just find support. And then once you get back above this level, this SFP level, then you have an invalidation and you have an entry. You're not really worried about how low it goes. Obviously, if it goes lower, you can look for lower. Let's say for the sake of argument, this does somehow do this. As soon as you get back above there, that's the entry. And then your invalidation, you'd have a wider invalidation, which is the pivot that's been put in, but then you can hone it down based on local price action, because then you'd be expecting the price as soon as you reclaim that pivot low. As soon as if you were to lose this channel and come back above this channel, that would be quite strong. Back in the range, very strong price action to just enter slightly higher up, but at least you've got a small invalidation and you're entering on strength after you've basically exhausted the sellers, and you're now kind of waiting for the price to move before you enter. So that would be a much more preferred entry than to just catch a falling knife. Okay, if people are scaling in on spot, just buy the dips. Pick your favorite token, buy the dip. It's not really rocket science in a bull market. Floki is just being ridiculous. Look at this. I had this inverse head and shoulders and it just exploded. What a joke. People are so mad. God, 6x. Shit. Whatever. All-time highs. I think with Floki, you're looking for a pullback. There. That would be nice. But I'm not going to trade Floki because it's in the all-time high. If anything, you're looking to short it. You could short that. It's always a risk. Well, that's today what I'm seeing is a little bit of a reversal candle pattern on Floki. Look. There's a little bit of reversal there. Close above, close back down, reverse this candle. Below this level as well. Maybe a back test. Just one day, one back test, just a green candle, just fail to get above there or there. And then you have a really easy short opportunity wherever the back test was. Somewhere here, probably there. You take profit, your big take profit is probably somewhere like that. Just where this candle ends. You see how this daily candle ends here? This kind of be your first like area of interest where you get some kind of reaction, probably. And fill that candle. It could always, with the way this price moves, the price could always find support there. Yeah, but you try and fill that whole candle and see where the price reacts. Probably somewhere here. There's a short on Floki. It's a 1 to 4. This is looking like a short too, huh? At all. Yeah, a lot of altcoins are showing a little bit of reversal in the highs. Now all of them are showing a little bit of reversal right now. See that one? See that? Back underneath that high. Ave, same thing really. Look. SFP the high. Back underneath that pivot high. A lot of altcoins are showing reversals, huh? Even Rose. Back underneath that high. I wanted Rio to go a bit higher, but who knows? Solana's still strong. Oh my god, look at that. I had this idea and it just didn't work. That's how bullish it is. Crazy, huh? Grok is... Look at that. It's just pumping like there's no tomorrow. Will it make an all-time high? That'd be a good place to sell, huh? BNB is still looking strong. Cardano is ranging above this value area high. It's good. It's looking healthy. As long as it doesn't lose these previous highs here, you're still good. There's an SR flip there. Oh god, Ava is pumping like there's no tomorrow. Amazing. 93 cents. Wow. Look at that volume. Well done, Ava. Have a look at the BTC chart. Oh, look at that. Oh, wait, look at that. It came into the resistance. I said there was resistance there. But it has to get back above that BTC value area to show real strength. It's still not there yet. Let me just pull the volume area to see if I can get a change in the way the volume is. No change. Look at that. I had a trade plan right up to there. Kai is just has been doing quite well since I did my trade plan. Prop has made an all-time high. It's looking to reverse now. Prop S. How far did it get? Look at that. See these lines, they don't lie, huh? Look at that. You can't mess around with these extension lines. It's still on a little bit of support, so we're still there. I think you lose that previous high there, then you're probably heading down. Still there. Oh, I'm just waiting for this to pump. Actually, I don't want HTN to pump because I'm accumulating. So I'm very happy for this to stay low. You know, I was waiting for TRVL to pump so I could buy scale into HTN. And then ride the train on HTN and then bring all the value back into TRVL. That's what I was imagining, but I wouldn't mind for HTN to hang low for a little bit longer. Something interesting is that the point of control has moved to the lows of this range now. That's really bullish. FYI, if anyone's interested in this, that's what you want to see. Accumulation at the lows of this range. Hold the bottom of the range, but you just want to see the point of control move to the bottom. Put in some volume here. Then work our way back up. So I don't know if anyone's interested in this, but this is a good one. If you want future gains. It's about 15, 13, I don't know how much million market cap, but I think this will probably get to $1 billion or more because it's a DEX. It's a DEX. Go and do your research. Hydronet. Smitty recommended this to me, so this is a long play. Hydronet. Cube. Well, I'm expecting Cube to do miracles, but it's not. What the hell? I've got all my other trade plans right, and here I'm in this one, and it's not reacting the way I want it to. So I don't know. Am I going to get invalidated? It's possible. If this low gets taken, it hasn't been taken yet. So there's still hope, but we're underneath this high volume now, which I don't like. That sucks. And the great thing about Cube, and Craig, you shared Cube with me, is that the market cap is so freaking low. It's like $1.5 million. So 100x on this is easy. Really easy for this to 100x. Get to the all-time high, you're basically 100x almost. Very easy to get to about $120 million in a Bitcoin on this. This is an easy play as far as I'm concerned. So possibly I won't invalidate myself if it goes lower. Possibly I'll be looking to accumulate a little bit more, just because we're in the range and it's a super low cap market cap. The project looks quite good, hasn't run yet. This is an easy play. As long as we clear this range here, we're off to the races, I think. With the big TP is going to be at the 618 golden pocket area. From the current price action, you're looking at a big TP 10x from the current price action. But God knows, in the bull market, you could easily go to the all-time high 100x on this token. I see it happening. Okay, I've already done TRVL. Oh, BTC showing a little bit of strength, is it? Let's go back. So we've kind of lost this rounding top idea. Maybe that's a little bit of a fake out. I don't know. Let me just quickly have a look at the order flow. Is that right? Let me just refresh that. Oh God, look at that. You see suddenly go from bearish divergences to bullish divergences. Unbelievable. That's how Bitcoin is. This is bearish divergence here, slightly, and now we're into bullish divergences. So you're getting absorption again. You've got to be careful. It might be worth, if people are in shorts, just be careful, because it's very possible for Bitcoin to destroy people. And we are holding this trend line. I might scale back on my short, actually, just looking at this. I don't like bullish direction, but they could be leading, so we're still good. My invalidation is somewhat higher. It's at 73300. That's my 1%. Potentially with this, like I was saying, and the thing is that people see the rounding top, and so Bitcoin obviously wants to destroy people. And so you could potentially format this, you know, like you just have to realize that this could happen. Or, like I said, later on today, you could get this, clear the liquidity at the highs, and then just some big whale market sells, leverage, billions of dollars of shorts will open, and then that's going to look pretty disastrous for anyone longing. They'll just close their longs, and then the price will just, you'll end up like this, and we'll just do that. Any other tokens that are interesting? Smash the like. CPI data coming in 1 hour. That's correct. I just got a notification too. Well done. Thanks for reminding us. Pacer number 1. Oh my God, DOT's at $13. Amazing. Oh, that's 13 billion. My bad. $10. Nice. Look at that. So DOT is actually, I don't know if people are aware, but I think I did an analysis on DOT way back. DOT's forming another Wyckoff schematic. I've marked it out. And kind of where I kind of marked it out, it was basically holding the LPS. And now we're up into the LPS. Holding the LPS into the LPS. It was holding the last point of support, the lowest point of support. Now we're into the last point of support. As long as the price holds here, that's basically our sign of strength. It could consolidate here for a while for a markup. The markup will take us probably, I've got it going all the way up, but the reality is there's resistance in the way here. You have to see how the price behaves. Amazing, huh? That was pretty good TA, yeah. I had it when I was doing it, it was like about $6. Why did I not buy DOT? Because I bought TRVL. TRVL is doing the same thing, but it moves faster. Don't mess with TRVL, except when people sell. I wish I could smash their heads, but that's all right. You want to sell? Exit the token of the century? It's not my problem. I mean, it's still looking strong. I can't see much weakness in TRVL. There's a bit of selling and the price is holding a flight formation, like it's still flying, you know. Look, it's kind of what you want to see. Like if you can imagine the previous way, you know, like look at all this selling and the price is still holding. In the past, I don't know if people remember, and you know, people have short memories. In the past, when you got like crazy selling, the price would go down. Look, price is selling. Even here, look, a little bit of selling. Finally, we're getting selling, and look, the price is kind of going flat. It's like a flat correction. We're getting a little bit of a flat correction in the highs. I don't want to like jinx it, so I'm going to touch wood. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing at the moment. Slightly different to what we've experienced before. Maybe Bitcoin is going to go up. I'm not going to touch my trade because we still got let's see. As long as that golden pocket holds as resistance, I think it should be okay. I think it'd be very like you don't really want to see this now. If you're shorting, obviously if you're long, you want to see that. But again, the problem is that I do feel that it will be a lot stronger to go down and come back up. Like for long, I think as a long, as a bull, I'd prefer to see that than to just go up now. Like I don't really like that kind of behavior with the price, because again, you can get into a situation where you just kind of go back down again, you know. And so as a bull, you almost want to see the price go down, fake out, clear out the lows. That's what bulls really want to see, more than the price to just go up right now, right? But I mean, I've got that golden pocket in mind. Let's see. All right, I think that's it for today, guys. Thanks for joining me. I've got a couple of videos to cut and post, and then if there are any major updates, I'll post them on my Twitter. If you hit the like button, that would be much appreciated. And if you do watch any of my videos which I've cut, if you hit like on those as well, that would be really appreciated too. So have a good day.